I live in the greater Seattle area, and recently I had a little bit of trouble finding my favorite food at a grocery store. This is a Fred Meyer store, and they were running out of stock. And when I asked them about it, they had apologized, saying that because they had recently started this online ordering system where people would just order online and they would pick them off the shelves, and they had a software bug of some sort, and so as a result they weren't being accounted for. So apparently all the I was buying a vitamin and it was out, and it was apparently being ordered online and not being accounted for in the store, and they were working on fixing that. But my bigger issue is the whole movement of shopping online. I mean, my problem boils down to this. At the end of the day, you really ought to ask yourself, when you buy groceries, what are you really buying? See, when I go to the grocery store, or I go to a restaurant, or any of these regular, or go to the gas station, or anything like that, I'm not just buying these items. For the most part, I'm also buying social connectivity. So, for example, a lot of people, they could live their entire lives in their home. They have a job that they can do from home. They can order everything from home, and they could literally just box themselves off in their apartment. I don't think most people want to do that. The reason being that we don't just buy groceries for the sake of buying groceries. We don't just work at our jobs for the sake of working. A lot of people need connectivity. And I think it's not gonna end well, this whole movement of going online, and I prefer to not do it to begin with. Another problem is that a lot of people have really disconnected. They don't know how to connect with people anymore, and it's become almost like connecting with people is becoming a burden instead of the asset it should be. So at the grocery store that I go to, the Fred Meyer, nowadays you can get one of these handheld devices and scan your groceries as you go. You don't have to interact with anybody. You don't even have to talk to a ghost, it seems like. Oh, I mean, it's nice when you're kind of busy and you don't want your train of thought to be interrupted. I've used that device before for that reason, but not on a regular basis. I think it's very important to interact with people. The way I see it is that, let's say you live to be 80 years old, and you interact with, let's say, 5 people a day, which is a lot for a lot of people. That's still not that many people. And think about it, amongst those people, you got to choose your future wife out of there. You got to choose a few future business partners. If you own a business, you might have to choose a few employees out of it. Amongst those people. And that's a very small pool to choose from. And I don't want to make it any more smaller. And then people go, well, they can save a few bucks by going online. But you know what? People save a few bucks, but then they waste it all on all these activities because they're lonely. And I see it all the time. I see people blow a lot of money on pornography or something when all they really could have done was go to the grocery store. My goal in life is not to acquire the most money. My goal in life is to acquire the most social connectivity. Money is only a tool for me to get there. And a lot of people have lost sight of what life is about, it seems like. So you really have to think about what you're buying. When I buy an investment, if I want to buy a share of Amazon or something, the goal of that is investment. I could do that online, sure. It'd be kind of silly to go to a bank to buy it just to interact with people. At the end of the day, I actually want some privacy there. But when I'm buying food, especially, I'm into healthy eating, and I like to preach about it, and I go to the grocery store, and sometimes people ask me questions about it. It's a really good chance to interact with other people who have similar eating habits. It's very hard for me to find people with similar, at least it used to be. I mean, nowadays it's getting easier now that a lot of people are more aware, but in the past it was a lot harder to meet people who had a diet similar to me. So that I actually want to be a little bit more public. It depends what I'm doing, right? At the end of the day, you have to question, what are you really buying when you go to the store? So that's that. But don't lose sight of where the finish line is what I'm trying to say. Thanks for watching.